Hello everyone, this is Adit back again with another video. So in this video, we are going to create a animated button and this will look something similar like this one. So basically, we will just create this button and to create this button, we are going to use some of the third-party packages like using React Native Reanimated, and we will also use React Native Gesture Handler to handle how the button is going to move. Yeah, you will see, and you will get a small introduction about the reanimated and the gesture handler as well. And I think you might have already seen this kind of animated button in iOS applications, and there are some other applications that uses it. So we will try to create this in React Native. So let's get started now. So here I have already created a React Native application, and this does nothing as of now. It has just hello world printing on the screen, and I have already grabbed all the colors of this button that we have over here. So we will try to replicate create this in our code, and I kind of already tried creating this once, and it was pretty well. So I will try to do it, replicate the same thing over here in this video. So let's get started now. So to create this button, first of all, what I'm trying to do is like, let's just have a background color, which is, let's have this one, colors dot background color. Okay. So this will look something like this. And at the center, we are just going to have that button that we wanted to use. So first of all, let's just have a view, and inside the view we need to pass some of the stylings, and we need to define the width and height of the button as well. So the button width is going to be const. So let's have a variable called button width, and this is going to be like, let's have 350, and we are also going to have a height. Is going to be 60. So after this, we're just going to pass some styles to the main button. So basically, as of now, we are trying to create this one, this background one. So let's just have style, and let's just have a width of button width, and this is going to have a background color of colors dot button color, and height, let's just have a button height, and then we're just going to have, we are going to pass some of the components inside it. So basically we are going to have this component. This is again going to be a view. So, and we're just going to have that view at the center as of now, and then we will move it to, so let's see how we're just going to give a justify content in the center, and align item at the center as well. And let's just have some border radius. Let's just have, as of now we are just going to have 10, and later on we need to increase it because this is definitely this button definitely have more than 10 border radius. And then we're just going to create a view, and this view is basically this one. So let's just try to create this. Just going to have the background color of colors dot slide button, and then it is going to be a height which is going 50, and let's have height as well as width of 50. And as of now I'm trying to create it as a square. Later on we will move it to just change the radius, and this will be as a circle. So I kind of already created it on a squared shape, so that's why I'm trying to here first create in the square, and then move it then make the radius like this. Hope that will work. So let's just try to do this. And then it is going to have a position of absolute, and left will be 0. And later on by the animation we are just going to change the value of the left, and it will be moving, right? So let's try to do that. And inside that we're just going to have some value as well, like we need to put an arrow. So justify content and align item, we'll put that arrow at the center. So over here let's just have an arrow, and we're just going to import that image from not image, it's a icon from expo, and let's just have feather as icon, and we are just going to have icon name, and let's just have name as from right, that will work. And the size is going to be 25, I guess. And we are also going to pass the color to it. So basically color, which is going to be a black, I think it's a actually black color I have already defined over here. And let's see how this looks. Okay, so this is how it looks as of now. Justify content line item, it should be a line item at the center. Okay, so here we have, and I think it should be 50, that will make it okay. So both are aligned at the same position now, and there is no spacing between them. So now what we need to do is as of now we are having the border radius of, let's have a different border radius as a variable. Just have border radius. I'm not pretty sure that this is if we change the border radius to something else, will this be work change the value of everything over here, but let's assume for now. And later on we need to wrap this inside the pan gesture, since this is the one we are going to like user is going to control, and this is one user is going to move. So let's just wrap this inside a pan gesture. Let's have I think it should be pan gesture handler. So handler, and let's just put it over here. And the pan gesture handler is going to give us a event on gesture event, and we're just going to handle those events. So over here we're just going to have const handle gesture event, and we just going to use a hook that's provided by the pan gesture handler. So use animated gesture handler, and inside that we get many events, like, but in our case we are going to handle 3 of the events, that is on active, and then we are also going to have on start. Let's have on start on the top, and then there is going to be on end. So just on end. Okay, so these are the events that we are going to need. And to update the value of, in the x-axis, we are going to have a shared value, which is going to come from the React Native reanimated, and that shared value is going to help us to update the value of update the position of that button that we have. Okay, So as of now, we're just going to have the shared value as 0. And if we update the shared value to something else, it will work. Okay. And over here, and we are also going to track like whether our swipe is completed or not. So when the swipe is completed, we don't want that button to move forward. That will make it go beyond this button. So that's not that's what we're going to handle. And to achieve that, we're just going to have an one state state is going to have false. By default, it is going to be false. And then let's just do all the handling of the events, and then later on we will just move it to the edit the animation part. Okay. So on event, we get event and context. So basically, context help us to move it helps us to grab the pass the value from one event to other event, and there might be some other use cases, but in like we are going to use it to pass some value from one event to other. And over here on start, we are not going to need the context, so we're just going to stick with it. And let's just have context, and on start completed, and we're just going to pass the toggle. Okay, and we will update the toggle value later on. And on active, let's just have a let new value. It is just a variable. And if we are going to grab the context over here as well. Let's just have, yeah, and here we are going to need the event as well. And context dot completed. So if this one is completed, and new value 290 plus e dot translate x, and else it is, if it is not completed, then new value, we will assign the value to it, e dot translate x. And if new value is greater than 0, greater than equal to 0, and new value is less than equal to 290. So basically 290, since 50 is, we can stick with the 300 as well, because 50 is the button width, and this is going to start to the end of the button. It will all become clear once we do the animation part. So for now, and we're just going to pass the value like new value accordingly. And on the end, we need to find a way to in usually what happens in animations. So if user is going to move this button till over here, like half of the button. If he is before half of the button, then the button is going to move back to its original position, initial position, you can say, or the start position. And if the button is moved forward, like more than half of the button, then it will move to the end of the button over here. Okay, so that's what we are going to control over here. And let's just have if x dot value is less than button width divided by 2, then x dot, we are just going to update the x dot value with spring. In our case, I'm just going to use a spring and move it to 0. If the user has moved button to the mid, less than mid, if it's a mid of the, less than mid of the button. And in the else case, and we're just going to have x dot value and with spring and we will move it to 300, I guess. Yeah, that will do the work. And on at the end, we're just going to update the value of the toggle to true, since that's how we are going to update the complete, whether it is completed or not. And we are going to update the value on JS thread. And let's just create a function, complete and true. So let's create a function over here. And if is toggled is not equal to toggled, and then set toggled is equal to is toggled. Okay, so that's how we're going to handle and check whether it is complete or not. And now we need to update this value, and for that, to pass the styles of React Native Reanimated, what we need to do is like we are going to define one animated style object, and inside that we are just going to have a swipe style, like this is the swipe button actually, and use animated style, and we are going to update the position of that button. So we're just going to update the button in translate x, and we are going to have x dot value. Okay, hope that makes sense. Now this view should be an animated view over here as well, and we are going to update the value over here. So pass one style, animated styles dot swipe styles, and hope this will work. Okay, so animated is not imported. We need to import the animated from React Native Reanimated. And let's just save it. And now if we try to move it, so you can see we have the spring effect as well, but there is some, I think some error, and that's the reason it is it is not behaving in the right way. So refresh it, and we are able to move it, and this is going to back to its original position as well. And now let's have a text over here. We need to pass a text over here to swipe to unlock, something like that. So to pass that text, we're just going to have swipe to unlock, and you will have to see the text over here. Here we have, and let's just update the color of this text. Color, not the button color, but some other color I need to use, slide button color, sorry. So we just have slide button color, and now if we just refresh it and we do something like this. And one more thing that we need to do is, like, when we move this and it comes to over here at like half of them, we need to hide this swipe to unlock text. So we will just add that text as well to animated text, and over here we're just going to have animated dot text. So now we're just going to define another style that is going to be Animated swipe text maybe. So let's have another animation over here, and that is going to be swipe text, and this is also going to use animated style, and this is going to return. So what I'm thinking of doing is like I'm just going to update the opacity of this text. So yeah, so I will try to update the opacity of the text using the interpolate. So let's just have a opacity, and we just interpolate the value x dot. What we're going to do is like we will update the value of swipe text opacity. So let's just have 150, and over here what we're going to do is like update the opacity from 1 to 0, something like that. And let's just try to do that. Just have 1 to 0, and we're just going to extrapolate listen dot clamp, and let's just see what happens now. Oh, why text is not hiding? Oh, I didn't pass the style to style over here. So let's just do that. Okay. So now what we're going to do is like let's just remove the text. Sorry. It is misbehaving. I don't know. There is something wrong with the animations. We will check that. And as you can see, the text is getting hidden. And one more thing that we can do is like right now, how it looks like the text is getting faded away. But one more, like we can also pass some transform, like it will look like the text is going away in a different way by moving in x axis. So we can do that as well. So let's just try to do, and we're just going to have transform. Sorry. And over here, we just need to pass a comma, and we're just going to have translate x. And over here, we are also going to interpolate the value, and it will be, I think, in a similar manner, and 0 to 150 or 150 to above. Let's see. And where we are going to move this value is 0 minus, sorry, from 0 to button width divided by 2 minus button this swipe button width. Actually, we need to define a swipe. We consider the button height because that is also going to be the same. So let's just have const swipe button width, which is 50 as of now. So let's just pass the swipe button width. And now if we try to do it, yeah, so this looks good. This looks like it is getting faded away in a different way. And now one more thing that we need to do is like while we move it, that this background color should get faded away. And to achieve that, what we can do is like we can have another view, and we will push that view over this button. Okay, so let's just try to do that. Let's have a view over here or over the pen gesture, and we're just going to have it is going to have the similar view, that similar style that we have over here, except for the some of the changes. and that is going to be over here, and then just pass the same style, and we will change some of the stylings. I'm using inline style, like I could have used made it like refactor the styles. I will do it later on while I'm not recording the video. So I think you can also do it. It's really easy to just refactor it, and that will be fine. And we're just going to have position absolute and left to 0, and we will change the width of this. As of now, let's just keep the width of it 0, and the color is not going to be the button color, but the background color. Okay, and so that it is not visible to us. Yeah, width is 0, so it is not visible to us as of now, but we need to update the value. So to update the value, we need to increase the width of this. Let's just have one style over here, overlay view, use animated style, and inside the use animated style we are going to have we are going to increase the width, which is going to be width, and width is going to x dot value plus, and we are going to add the slide button width, otherwise there is going to be some flicker. uh, Let me show you if you have to get it. And over here we just need to pass these styles as well. So to pass the animated styles dot overlay view, and now if we just try to increase, what, it is still not working. Oh, it should be x dot value straight. Now if we just try to move it, no, width is not increasing. Is there any display none or something like that? Let's have a width. Okay, so width is there. So we are able to overlay this view over to the existing button, but somehow the width is not getting updated, and it is not getting updated. I don't know why. Start value. Am I doing it on the right position or not? It is there. View is there. Offset. Sorry for that. This need to be animated view, and now this should work. Okay, and we don't need to pass this with timing x dot value. Will work, I think. Animated dot view, and this is red. Fine. Now if we just try to increase the value, so here you will have to see there is some gap over here. So what I'm trying to do is, like, I will move this till here. Okay, so let's just have plus button slide button width, I think. I don't know, we'll define some value, swipe button width by 2. So we are just going to have button width by 2. So now let's see. This is misbehaving on emulator. When I try to run it on the real device, it works completely fine. So you can try to run it on your device or use Expo. There it will work completely. It will work completely fine, as far I know. And now instead of red, we need to have a different color over here, and that is going to be the colors dot button color. I don't think a button, it's a background color. Okay, so let's just see, and now you have to get that. Okay, and now one more thing that we need to do is like we need to update the border radius. Let's see if the variable that we have defined over here, this helps in any way. Let's just see. Okay, great. So we have this, and over here, this is how this looks as of now. This is how and you can add more animations to it, but and apart from that, one more thing we can do. That's all we can do, and for other things we will discuss in some other videos. So this is how you can implement a swipe animation button, and try to run it on the simulator. Try to run it on your physical device. There it will work great, but on simulator, on the emulator, it does misbehave a little bit. And one more thing that while implementing this, if you are using the Android devices, then makes you to wrap this in a root pan gesture, something like that. So you need to wrap it inside that. You can grab more about this on the React Native Gesture Handler. So for now, this is it for this video. And if you like the video, consider subscribing, and thank you for watching.